So this is going to be a bit of a different video. I just wanted to try something different on the channel that could be interesting. I've been getting back into my poker lately, and I thought it might be fun to give this a try and see where it goes. So let me know in the comments what you think, if I should do more like this or less like this, if you like the commentary to be live instead of post commentary like I'm doing now. Just let me know. So this is a PokerStars play money table. Right off the bat we're dealt Queen 8 offsuit, which is a decent enough hand to call. We're starting off as big blind, so we just check the way through the flop, which we get 2 pair on immediately. Checks around to us and continues checking around the table. This guy Hollywoods it for a bit before checking, and then turn comes out 4. We still have top 2 pair, so we just call. Don't want to go too heavy into that. There's still a good few hands out there that beat us, like pocket 8s, or if someone has a 6-8, pocket 6s, pocket 4s even. But no one's betting high enough to show me that that may be the case, so we decided to go for about a half pot size bet, and that gets everyone to fold. We take away our first hand to start us off, so nice way to start the game. We then dealt the computer Queen 7. The reason it's called the computer hand is because it is statistically the highest average winning hand, but we aren't really given a flop that's nice, so we've just clicked that button over there, fold to any bet, because, well, if somebody puts out money, we don't have a high enough equity at this point to be able to safely call them, and there's a bet that we're going to fold to. So here's a bet that's 1.5 size the pot. We do not have nearly enough equity to be able to call that. Here's a nice little table of hand equity and what it should be if you are thinking of calling. This guy, Romero Diver, calls for 800. Rossa's out, no thank you. Another 9 comes out, the board pairs up, checks around, and Luke is going to take that with his 2 pair jacks and 9s. For our next hand, we're dealt queens, which is nice. We are feeling pretty good. We're going to min raise to 200 here, see who else is in. Everybody else has already put in a decent amount, and there's a decent sized pot already, so everyone is going to call. 695, not too much of a worry for us. We have 2 overcards, we have an overpair, so the most we have to worry about is somebody else having pocket kings, pocket aces, but they would have been in for more pre-flop if that were the case. So we're going to try and get a bit of a value bet in here, just a little 100 to call. That's enough to make Gino their fold. Smoking Graham, who I believe is another Australian, he Hollywoods for a little bit before deciding to call. Maybe he was calculating his percentage. We have a 4 come out on the turn. We're still fine. The only thing we have to worry about is someone rolling with 7-8, which I really doubt anyone has. If they did, they would have bet big here. We check, unless they're slow playing it. A jack comes out. Still nothing to worry about. We're doing fine. At this point, we pretty much have this hand all to ourselves. It will check all the way around, despite some Hollywood. To Romero Driver, who's going to put in a bet of 400. We instantly call. We have this in the bag. That bet of 400 is enough to scare off everybody else. And in the end, Romero Driver shows that he has Queen 9. Unlucky, we take the pot. So our next hand we dealt is 2-3 offsuit. Not a fantastic hand. In the position we're in, we get to fold for free. We don't have to worry about putting in a blind bet, which is nice. Good position. The only thing we really had going for us is maybe the wheel, so ace to 5. Fuck, son of a bitch. But that's fine. We have a king come out as well, so if someone has a high hand, they would put in money here, make a decent bet, try and scare off anyone who's trying to play mid-range. This person bets at the end of their Hollywood streak. I still feel like we made the good decision folding, and there you go, it's another king. So if someone has a king, they have a set. Nobody here has made a straight, or is close to making a straight. Queen comes out in the river, so we wouldn't have made our wheel anyway, which is fine. Next hand we're dealt is 6-7 suited, so we are going to call here because we have a potential for a straight flush, pretty decent equity, and right off the bat we hit a 5 and an 8, leaving us with an open-ended straight. Gives us 8 outs, and we have a equity percentage of about 32%, which, if you remember our handy dandy little table from earlier, is pretty decent. We are going to call again with this 2 because it increases our odds of hitting a flush on the river, which we don't hit. There's another 2. This guy makes a pot-sized bet, which we don't have the equity to support right now. Unfortunately, thank you for the timer, we are going to have to let this one go, which happens. It's poker. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't. You just got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, know when to walk away and know when to run. Next hand we're dealt is 6-7 offsuit. Decent odds of a straight for a middle pair of connectors. So we're big blind, we're going to check. Comes out 4-7 ace, so we pair up our 7. So middle pair isn't so bad. We only have to worry about a potential flush. Checks around the board, and that person stands up and leaves, which is fine. We have another card for our straight, which leaves us with another open-ended straight draw. Another ace comes out, so if anyone has an ace, we're in trouble, as we miss our straight draw. However, we're still doing okay. There's no potential flushes out there, and we take down the hand with our bigger 2 pair than his. Our next hand that we're dealt here is Queen King offsuit. Queen, as some might call it. So we complete our small blind and stay in. We hit top pair on the flop, which is great for us. There's a potential for a flush draw out there, but we will just check just to make sure things don't go awry. We get a bet of 400 from him. He might have sensed weakness from us all checking, so he might be trying to steal it. I have an idea that maybe he's on a 9 or he's on a potential flush draw. Gino calls, and Smoking Graham also calls. 3 comes out. I don't think a 3 helps anyone, so I will put in another 100, try and get a bit of value out of this, seeing as that would mean that anyone on a flush is likely to have just about missed it. At this point, right before the river, if someone was hunting for a flush, there's a good chance that they might get freaked out about missing it on the river. So, works for us. He raises to 800, so I have him on maybe a 9, or he's trying to double down on his missed flush. So, we're going to call, because he's trying to scare us off. However, we have a 4 come out to spade, so it is a flush, so we are going to check just in case he happens to have it. Luke, across from us, ends up betting 1,000. We're going to call at this point just because I want to see. So he didn't make his flush, but he did have Queen 3, so he had 2 pair instead of our 1 pair, so we let him know that was well played with a nice hand, NH. Our next hand is Ace King. Well, not our next hand. We are missing a few in between because nothing really happened, just a whole bunch of folds. With our Ace King, we min raise the blinds. Couple people call in, couple people fold. We unfortunately miss on the pot, on the flop, so This guy makes an almost pot-sized bet. We don't have the equity to be able to call that, unfortunately, with ace-king. Not for this board. So we will have to fold that one away. Hard to let go, but sometimes you have to. We wouldn't have really made anything anyway with our ace. Fucking shit. On our next hand, we're dealt 10 queen in the small blind. It's a pretty decent hand, so we are going to complete our small blind and play in this hand. ASAF 262 up there is AFK at the moment, so we'll see him timing out by the end of this hand. Every time it rotates around to him in the orbit, it'll let him time out and he'll check or fold or whatever need be. So we call. This guy checks, and we see our flop, which comes out as a potential flush draw for us, but also our ace-king to give us a gut shot straight. Decent odds. We have like a 48% equity right now, so that's a good hand. We are checking, however. We're going to slow play it, see if somebody else puts in any chips. If they do, we'll bet over the top of them with another 3-bet. Just check raise over them, but he doesn't. Jack comes out, completing our straight. But again, we're playing it slow. Gonna check, make him think that we don't have it. Leave it open for somebody else to bet here. See if they want to take it over the top. This guy's going to time out. Once again, it is going to check around. And here comes another ace. That might scare a few people now that they think that nobody's made that straight. So I'm going to rep the ace. That will give people confidence to try and come in over the top and say, hey, I have something better than your set of aces. But when we actually have a much better hand, Tizono 63 calls us. That guy will fold and sit out. And Luke over there is also going to fold. He mucks his cards after we show him what we have, and we take away the hand. So our next hand is a 6-jack offsuit. We're going to fold for free here because we don't have to pay anything to do so. It's not a high enough hand that I'm comfortable playing against some of these people that are beating us in the chip lead. Well, we would have had a gut shot straight draw, but that's fine because our other card was a jack, and that was essentially useless to us. Gut shot straight draw isn't always the best situation to be in. Fucking bitch. So that was about 10 hands of Texas Hold'em that I played on the PokerStars app with play money. If you guys think I should do more videos like this, I have about an hour of footage from that session. And if you want me to add my commentary over it, if you'd like me to do future videos where I'm doing live commentary, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.